Tonight, it's the Class 1A Region 3 final matchup as two teams battle it out for a chance to go to state. On one end, you have Bishop Garrigan with 18 wins in a row, looking to return to state for the third consecutive year and trying to win that elusive first state championship. On the other hand, you have the Riceville Wildcats. They come in 22-2 overall, and they are trying to make their first state appearance in the 5-on-5 era. Tyler Lance with you on Home Country Radio, KLGZ, and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Starting us off a couple minutes early here tonight because we have a lot of great interview content to bring you on this stream and on the radio as well. Big thank you to all the sponsors for tonight. We'll thank them throughout the game coming up as well. Big thank you to Bernie Merrill for joining me and running the camera and scoreboard again here throughout the night as we are looking forward to bringing you the full game and should be an exciting one. Riceville and Bishop Garrigan. Who is going to state? We'll find out here shortly. In the meantime, let's get the thoughts from both head coaches as we begin with Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. We are getting ready for high school basketball regional final here between Bishop Garrigan and Riceville, as right now I'm talking with Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. Coach, can you just start off here with the mood around the team right now? I'm sure there's a lot of confidence, maybe a little bit of nerves as well, so just what's the overall feeling around this group heading into tonight's game?
Yeah, nerves are a part of being in a regional final game, and that's, like we'll say in the locker room, I mean, that's normal. You should feel them. It's a normal thing. Use them nerves as, unleash them on the court and be ready to go after opening tip. So everybody's got them. We're a confident team right now that's been playing really great basketball, and we look to come out and get off to a fast start and take care of business tonight.
And, Coach, when you talk about fast starts, you have gotten off to a very fast start in the first two postseason games. So what did you feel was the formula there, and how do you repeat that tonight?
We've been really locked in the locker room before the game. Players are understanding that, right now our backs are against the wall, and there's no room for error. And we have to come out and play complete quarters. And I thought we played 2.5 to 3 really good quarters, the other night. Tonight, we're looking to put 4 together. So we're really looking to, come out and we're a motivated group that has high goals in front of us, and we want to come out and get off to a fast start, and we're looking to hopefully do that again tonight.
And, Coach, your opponent for tonight is Riceville, so what's your scouting report on them?
They got some good guards. They got 2 good guards. O'Malley Fair is a really good guard for him. She really can shoot the 3. I think she's got 63s on the year at 36%, so she can really shoot it from the outside. Joy Barron runs her point guard a lot, very athletic, 5'9" point guard that can really get to the rim with her left hand and is really athletic. So, our key is those 2 players, and, we're going to match with our best 2 defenders on them with Molly and Abby, and we'll see how they can contain them or do what they can to shut them down.
And, Coach, when you talk about Molly Joyce and Abby Capacious, can you speak a little bit to them on the defensive side more? Because, obviously, everyone knows what they can do on the offensive end, but throughout the year they've also improved well defensively.
Yeah, they're our best 2 guard defenders that we have. They're asked a lot of the nights when we play man to defend the other 2 best players. They've held, Kennedy Kelly and Mallory Lear to 9 combined points, which was 2 great guards in our conference. They're asked to do that. So, our goal with those 2 players tonight is, can we hold O'Malley and Joy to below 15 total points between the 2? If we can do that, I feel it puts a lot of pressure on their role players to put the ball in the hole consistently, because we're going to score. We're going to put, 60 plus on the board tonight. So can we put pressure on their role players to make them have to score 45 points to be in the game? That's our goal coming in.
And, Coach, looking at Riceville's roster, they're not a team that has a ton of size in their starting lineup from the looks of it. So how do you capitalize on your size in this one? And just, I guess, also, what do you feel the level of athleticism is on this Riceville team as well?
They've got really good athletes. They don't have a ton of height, but they have a ton of length. With 5'9", 5'9", 5'8", all in their starting lineup, 5'10" in their starting lineup, they do have length and they have athleticism. They're a team that pushes the ball, runs the floor. They'll pick you up in the full court, and they have really good athletes. So obviously, anytime you play athletes like that, it's a challenge. So, we're prepared. We're looking forward to it, and if we get off to a good start like we've been, I feel confident on our game plan tonight.
Coach, to wrap up here, what's going to be the final thing you tell your girls before the game tips off in this one?
Play loose, win every 50-50 ball, and make sure that we play harder than they do. If we do those three things, we'll be in great shape.
Coach, thanks for the time today, and good luck in tonight's game.
All right, thanks.
Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab with his pregame thoughts, as we'll take a quick time out here on Home Country Radio and the Algona Radio YouTube stream, and come back with more pregame coverage next.
A big bank can deliver the products you need and the convenience you expect. A small bank can make you feel like family. At Fidelity Bank and Trust, we don't think you should have to choose. Your hometown bankers have roots here. We understand the community and why you want to live here, because we live here too. We're big enough to deliver, yet small enough to care. Fidelity Bank and Trust, your hometown bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your hometown Fidelity Bank and Trust, located in Bancroft, Iowa.
We are getting ready for regional final basketball action tonight between Bishop Garrigan and Riceville, as right now I'm talking with Riceville head coach Darcy Fair. Coach, first of all, I think just a good place to start off this interview would be if you could give our listeners a quick overview of your season so far and how the team got to this point.
Well, we've got 2 losses on the season, but we've been working really hard in the off season, and I think that's kind of gotten us to where we are today. We have been back-to-back conference champs now, last year and this year, and so undefeated in both of those seasons. I feel like our girls have really been working together as a collective group, giving their best effort on the court every time they step out on the floor, whether that's in practice or a game or whether we're in the weight room, whatever the case may be. It's definitely a grind sometimes, for basketball. It gets to be a long season, and so to be able to keep that mentality of working hard throughout the course of the entire season. We've had our ups and down moments, obviously, as most programs do, as far as like shooting percentages with games and things like that. But somehow these young ladies come together and have done some phenomenal things together as a group.
Now, Coach, you really had to earn your spot in this game because in your most recent playoff game, you beat AGWSR 33-32 in a very hard-fought matchup. So can you just give me a quick idea there of how that game ended and how your girls were able to pull out such a close game in that one?
Yeah, it came down to the last minute of play, and it was really free throws that made a difference, not only for us making our free throws, but AGWSR had some difficulties from the line in that second half. We came down, one of our players made a key three-pointer. We then had, a play come down. We had a turnover and then a foul against us, which then put them on the line with a tie ball game. We ended up coming down with the ball. The score was tied. One of our players, Joy Barron, drove to the baseline, put up a shot and missed it. Sarah Anderson then got the rebound and was fouled on the way back up with 1.5 seconds left on the clock. So she was on the line for shooting 2. She missed the first one, and then a timeout was called. She went back out. She was obviously under a lot of pressure, high pressure situation. We tried to talk through her with things, about confidence and all the free throw drills we do in practice, and telling her, obviously, you know how to make them. We do this in practice. And then she was able to sink that basket for us, and AGWSR didn't get a shot off before the buzzer sounded. So it was an exciting time in our gym, and that's been one thing I think that's really helped us down the stretch here. Our fans have been phenomenal, and the community is really excited and proud of the girls. We haven't been in these types of situations very often, and so this is exciting times to be a Wildcat.
No doubt about it. Now, Coach, during that response, you mentioned a little bit of the pressure your team dealt with down the stretch of that game, and you do have a starting lineup here that includes a couple of freshmen and a little bit of youth. So how have you gotten them specifically to deal with the pressure that comes with the high school postseason?
I don't know if we've done necessarily anything in particular. I think these young ladies are just up for the challenge. You know, they have a lot of supportive teammates that help them through high pressure times. It's a supportive group of people. You know, we really talk about pursuing excellence and doing those things together. And you know, I feel we try to keep things fairly calm as coaches. You know, when you are in high pressure situations, just really reminding ourselves that we can work through these and we can accomplish them together if we believe in ourselves. You know, these girls have not only been playing some basketball, but some have played some varsity situations in softball last year as 8th graders. Not softball starters or anything, but have been in, you know, some game situations where they've had to do that. We've also, you know, gone to a lot of tournaments as a team, working together, and so I feel like they have the experience, I guess, you know, going into it from the background things that we have done, but also knowing that they have their teammates are there to support them and help them through and keep their mind right and focused and ready to play. So having that confidence not only within themselves, but having those teammates that help you do that is really a key part of that, I think.
And, Coach, as you get set for tonight's game, the opponent is going to be Bishop Garrigan. So what's your overview and scouting report on the Golden Bears this season?
Well, we obviously know that we are, you know, up against a tough match. You know, like it's a tough matchup for us. Size-wise and, you know, shooting-wise, we know that this is, you know, a tough matchup for us. We're not denying that at all. We, like last year, as far as like scouting report type things go, we as coaches, I think, tried to change who we were a little bit, you know, as far as what we wanted to do in the postseason, and that did not work out very well for us. You know, we did not perform well in our first playoff game last year. And I think as coaches, we learned things too. You know, we make mistakes and try to get better. And this year, we've just really decided we're going to be us, Riceville girls basketball, and play our game and kind of let the chips fall where they may. We're going to go out and give it our very best effort. You know, we have some game plan kind of strategy types of things, but I wouldn't say we've really changed what we've practiced, you know, coming up to this point. We just really want to go out there and be who we are and give it the best we've got.
And, Coach, as we wrap up here, before we went on the air, you and I were talking about how this team has not made it to state in the 5-on-5 basketball era, so you have a chance to accomplish some history here for the program tonight. Can you just speak a little bit to that and just how historic and how exciting it would be for the community and these girls as a whole to be able to make that history for Riceville?
Oh, I you know, that's an unbelievable accomplishment if we could get there. You know, we've had some years there where we've had a stretch where we haven't won very many games, and that kind of is turned around here a little bit. And it's not because of necessarily coaching or anything like that, but it's a collective effort of everyone involved just believing that we can do it, and the community has been unbelievably supportive. You know, we've had fans that have donated popcorn for one of our games. You know, like they paid for popcorn. We've had people who are paying for a pet bus for our fans, for our students to come and watch tonight. We've had a couple sets of fans that have paid for our girls to have lunch before a game. You know, just it's been an unbelievable outpouring of support from our community, and I think it's a historic time for us right now too. You know, we haven't been in this situation for a really long time, and you know, people donating and celebrating in these girls' successes has been tremendous. I think, you know, small town Iowa, you know, a lot of times sports is what brings you together, or you know, it's not always just sports, but that's kind of a thing that kind of drives your community. You know, lots of people asking questions, and the girls, you know, are just taking that all in. And I feel like if we could make it down there, what a unbelievable accomplishment, not just for one single person, but just a collective effort of our community. And I feel it's been a great ride, so far this year too. I even find myself thinking like, oh my gosh, like we're in the regional finals. That's huge for us, and sometimes I get a little emotional about it, just all the time you put in and the effort you put forth, and it's by all people involved in the program. It just kind of makes you sit back and take a peek at everything that's happening, and just kind of relish in what you've accomplished throughout the years. Like the time that you put in isn't in vain. Like it's you see that result, and it's amazing. So.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we're looking forward to seeing the game tonight, and thanks for the time today.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Riceville head coach Darcy Fair, as tip-off is coming up next.
When you buy appliances locally, you're supporting your friends and neighbors. When you buy appliances locally, you're helping the local economy. When you buy appliances locally, they'll be serviced by someone you know and trust. Get exceptional service every time when you buy from North Iowa Appliance Center. For almost 45 years, they've been carrying Maytag, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Amana, the best appliances on the market today. Inventory is coming in weekly, so check out the store to see what they have in stock. North Iowa Appliance Center, where they sell the best and service the rest.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports boosters.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Neil Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Billy Joe's Bar and Grill. Burgers and steaks cooked to perfection along with chops, chicken, and seafood.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country. Highway 18 West.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Bring you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
At Wiffles Hybrids, they're completely focused on developing and producing the very best seed corn on the planet. It's an act they've been polishing for more than 70 years, right here in the heart of the Corn Belt. Wiffles Hybrid, one thing done right. For more information, contact Rich Rosenmeyer, Dale Lappy, or Mitchell Carroll at JDR Seed of Wesley, 515-341-2452, or visit wiffles.com.
More sports boosters making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Iowa Lakes Community College. Your community, your college.
Farmers State Bank, proud to be part of our community for over 125 years, with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Erpelding Excavating. Let them take care of your grading and excavating plus drainage needs.
Stroman Family Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. Collision Specialist. A total commitment to excellence.
Algona Livestock Auction, Highway 169 North, sales every Monday.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, with 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Chemna Quick Lane is the easy, fast, and convenient way to get an oil change.
No appointment needed, just show up.
Oil changes start at $59.95 for the 6-quart basic package, including inspection, fluid top-off, air and cabin filter check. They can also rotate your tires and replace your air filter or cabin filter for additional charges.
The Quick Lane is open 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 7:30 to noon on Saturdays. Don't stress when your vehicle says change the oil now. Just drive to Chemna Quick Lane, Highway 18 West, Algona.
No appointment needed.
Chemna cares.
Signworks Inc. has solutions for your signage needs, as well as vehicle graphics in all sizes. From a logo on the window to wrapping your entire vehicle, whether it's a banner, magnetic, or building signage. Signworks Inc. strives to provide fast, friendly service. They also are a source for custom screen printing on garments. If they can't provide you with what you need, they will direct you to who can. They are your local resource for signage and screen printing using your ideas and their creativity. Signworks Inc., 1613 East Locust Street, Algona, 295-9544, or email info@signworksinc.com.
It's now time to take a look at the starting lineup for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears.
Audie Crooks, junior, number 55.
High lob to Crooks, reaches back to catch it, puts it off the glass and scores it.
Molly Joyce, junior, number 11.
Now Joyce steps back for her three and she swishes it. My goodness, Molly Joyce.
Meredith Tigas, senior, number 23.
Tigas will now try to take it coast to coast, and Tigas gets the layup from the left side.
Emma Grangenet, senior, number 2.
Now Grangenet has a three-point look, spins it up and swishes it. Emma Grangenet is keeping Bishop Garrigan in this.
Abby Capacious, sophomore, number 21.
Now Capacious intercepts the inbounds pass, sidesteps the defender and gets the easy lay-in. Tip-off is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio. It's time for the Class 1A Region 3 final. Two teams battling it out to try to go to state. It's Bishop Garrigan and it's Riceville. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodie as we'll take a quick look at the Riceville starting lineup. They bring out the junior Madison Maurer, the senior O'Malley Fair, freshman Jalen Barron, junior Joy Barron, and the freshman Tawadi Fair. Beanie, your final thoughts here before tonight's game.
Oh, it's going to be loud in here. These are always the funnest games, the regional final. Both crowds bring everyone they can, and it's the loudest gym. This Clear Lake gym is plenty loud, and whichever team gets down to the Wells Fargo Arena, it's nothing like this gym is tonight. This might be probably be the funnest game these girls play all year, and the crowd is rocking. The student sections are both huge. Let's go.
This place is packed, and it is going to be rocking in here tonight. Crooks taps it backwards, and we are underway. Buckle your seatbelts, everyone, as Bishop Garrigan heads from left to right on the radio dial. Joyce comes out handling the basketball against a man-to-man defense. Riceville's in the black jerseys, Bishop Garrigan in the white. Lob inside Audie Crooks, and she'll score it to start the game.
Nice angle on that pass. They worked that ball to the corner. No one has the height of Crooks on this team.
Bishop Garrigan showing a little pressure in the backcourt. Barron had that one kicked behind her, but she picked it back up. Passes it over to the right to Talati Fair. Crooks shadows her on the perimeter. Talati Fair pivoting around, gets it off to Joy Barron. The junior coming into the lane, attacks into Joyce, and she'll draw a foul on Bishop Garrigan's junior.
Big pickup on Molly Joyce. She's getting the first foul of the game here. She's got to make sure she stays out of foul trouble. Picked up a little ticky-tack blocking foul. She was just going with her player to the basket. Refs are going to call it tight, and we got to recognize.
First shot on the way. Will knuckle a couple times on the rim and drop in for Joy Barron. And she's one of the key players Coach Schwab referenced in the pregame, someone who averages 11.3 points per game. Number one distributor of the basketball in the Iowa Star North Conference as she misses on the second foul shot and the score stays 2-1. Over 8 assists per game for Joy Barron, so I'm sure she'll dish out a couple here tonight as Capacious catches and heads to the right for Bishop Garrigan. Grangenet top of the key over to the left to Joyce. Joyce around the perimeter, across the lane, dumps it down, inside Tigas, misses right at the rack. Rebound Capacious, her follow is partially blocked, and the rebound is hugged by O'Malley Fair.
Good rebound by Capacious, good little play there.
On the pace, bounce pass to the baseline, intercepted Grangenet, tries to throw it back into play, but she traveled.
Good weight. That's really good speed Grangenet showed getting back on defense. She intercepted that pass, just couldn't stop her momentum from going out of bounds or traveling. But this team is playing fast. This Riceville team has some speed.
They love to push. They love to use their speed. They love to put some pressure on the defensive end. As the three-point ball, O'Malley Fair. That one comes up with an air ball, but it's an offensive rebound by Jalen Barron. Into the lane, Joy Barron bounces it outside. Maurer tries to drive in, got it stripped away, and it heads out of bounds. I'll tell you what, Beanie, we won't see too many air balls from O'Malley Fair tonight. She is a great three-point shooter, almost 36%, and she will try a lot of threes here tonight. A flip into play, Barron catches on the near side and gives it to Fair. O'Malley Fair guarded by Grangenet. A pass to the foul line to Barron. Faces the bucket, turns and hands it off to Fair. Over to the right now, Talati Fair. Bounce pass down to the baseline, Maurer. Into the lane, Barron. Down to the baseline again, and a traveling violation against Jalen Barron as she tried to drive but got started a little too soon.
So far, really nicely officiated contest. This crew really making sure they call everything, keep this game tight. Boy, there's a lot of fairs on the floor, Tyler. Doing a great job keeping them separate. Coach is a fair. There's 5 fairs on the roster. We'll try to keep it all straight throughout the night.
Darcy Fair, the head coach for Riceville's Crooks bangs inside, and she'll score again. 4-1 Bishop Garrigan.
Another nice pass from the wing, that time by Grand Jeanette.
Oh, and then a miscommunication. O'Malley Fair tried to throw it all the way across the court to Talati Fair, but she wasn't looking for the ball, and it sails out of play.
You know, that's kind of a cost that you have to pay when you're going to go with up-tempo. Not everything always goes your way. You got to deal with a few turnovers on errant passes as such.
Joyce, the top of Iowa West Player of the Year, comes over to Capacious. Now Grand Jeanette lob inside Crooks in the triple team. She'll bounce around inside like a pinball, and that is going to be a foul against Riceville.
Well, Garrigan is just full attack mode, lobbing that ball into Audie Crooks. Grand Jeanette goes for the lob again. Crooks had 4 people around her, and a lot of contact in there. Another good call by the officials.
Riceville's going to have to bring it defensively tonight. They're giving up just 31.5 points a game. Into Capacious, hands off to Joyce in the near corner. Joyce flips it into Crooks, a little behind her. She catches anyways, reverses on the layup, but she bounces it in. Oh, Audie Crooks with a nice move that time.
Sweet move, and her baskets are true so far.
Tagus almost had an interception. Ball comes to Fair. She'll try 3, back of the iron, no. Rebound Jalen Barron, and then she'll throw it away to Joyce.
Yeah.
6-1 Bishop Garrigan here. Molly Joyce into the front court. Gets the screen from Tagus and heads left. Joyce left of the lane. Scoop layup. No good, but she got fouled.
You know, these last few games, Joyce has been doing such a good job at running that point guard position, setting up those plays, getting the buckets created. That time she takes it to the hoop. She's always so strong with the hoop to the left hand. She just needs a little seam. She had a whole world in front of her there.
Joyce, a very good free throw shooter, will miss on the first one. So far this season for Riceville, their calling card has been the defense. If you look at the offense for Riceville, they have not scored 70 points yet in a game. They've only gotten above 60 in 8 out of the 24 as an early timeout is called here on the floor. And we'll take a quick message from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union encourages positive behavior.
Pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship on the court and in the stands.
Remember what a great privilege it is to see your team compete.
Thank you for your attendance. Enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
And we come back here to Clear Lake High School. Neutral site for this game as both crowds are roaring so far. Joyce ready to take the second foul shot for Bishop Garrigan with 5:15 on the clock. It's on the way, and it is swished, making it 7-1 Bishop Garrigan. Riceville has not been to state in the 5-on-5 era of girls basketball. Their last state appearance came all the way back in the 1985-1986 season, when it was still a 6-on-6 game, as stopping is Fair. Fair looking for someone to get the ball to. Gets to Jalen Barron. Far side of the court. She'll drive in. She'll weave in. She'll lose the ball and heads out of bounds. And that'll go back to Bishop Garrigan.
Just off the fingertips of Jalen Barron. She was trying to decide, should she dish it to her teammate or go up for the shot? I think if she had that back, she'd wish she just went up for the jump shot because she had an opening.
So far this season for Riceville, every game has either been a win or a very close loss. Their 2 losses this season both came by 3. One against Nashua Plainfield, one against Turkey Valley. Lob into the block to Crooks. Bowls over the defense. Drops the ball as it heads out of bounds. And they initially point towards Riceville. The referees will confer here, and they will now signal towards Bishop Garrigan.
Yeah, when Audie came down, that ball went right off the lap of her defenders. Boy, they have her in a tight sandwich, but we keep throwing that lob in there, and the ball is getting there, but there's no room for Audie to move when she catches it.
Tagus to trigger from the baseline, running out of time, but gets it up to the top of the key to Crooks, who hands it off to Joyce to run the Bishop Garrigan offense. The junior Maurer shadows Joyce as she backs up to the Lion logo at midcourt. A lot of yellow and black here in the gym tonight, both with the Clear Lake colors and the Bishop Garrigan fans in attendance. Riceville's brought a huge crowd as well. Up to the top, Capacious. Over to the right, Grand Jeanette. Comes down underneath on the near side to Joyce. Grand Jeanette screens. Joyce heads towards the lane, stops at the elbow, lobs it into Crooks, catches in traffic, puts it off the glass and scores with nice touch.
Boy, you got to give some credit to that offense. They are determined to execute their plays and get that ball to Crooks, and they are pulling off this execution super in this first quarter.
9-1 is the Bishop Garrigan lead right now over Riceville. Capacious has Fair in man-to-man defense. Fair stops in the far corner, goes top of the key. Free ball on the way, Jalen Barron off to the left. Crooks skies for the rebound, looks for the outlet pass, but goes left to Joyce instead. Joyce stops, left wing triple on the way, and she hits it!
Oh, such a good transition three-pointer. Now they're putting a little pressure on, trying to put a kill punch in here on the Riceville.
12-1 Bishop Garrigan. Joyce had 22 points in the most recent playoff game. Tigas jumps a pass, knocks the ball down onto the floor, pops it up in the air, and gets it away from Barron. And now Joyce is tripped and fouled.
Oh, the Garrigan girls could smell they had a moment. They could go on a run here. Tigas jumps the pass, gets the steal, has to battle for it. And the Riceville team narrowly, those Wildcats really prevented a run-out layup by Emma Grand-Jeanette that really would have got the momentum going for Garrigan, already up 12-1.
Tigas checks out. Ashlyn Hovey comes in for Bishop Garrigan with 3:23 here on the clock. Joyce will hand it off to Capacious, who will come across half court. You know, Capacious had 14 rebounds in Bishop Garrigan's most recent game. She was the leading rebounder. Into Crooks. Crooks deep underneath the basket, goes into the corner to Joyce. Joyce maneuvering into the lane. Outside on the wing to Hovey, now far corner to Capacious. Down to 3 minutes. Into Crooks again. Defense goes by her, and she'll lay it in.
That is another assist, that time by Abby Capacious. Crooks' baskets are coming on sweet passes from the guards.
Capacious is number 7 in the top of Iowa West in assists per game. Molly Joyce also in the top 5 in the conference. She leads Bishop Garrigan in assists. Those two have dished it out. Into the lane, Barron, left-hander, and she gets to drop. Joy Barron, her first points of, or first field goal, I should say, of the night.
Yeah, that really breaks the ice for the Wildcats. They were starting to get a little nervous that ball was never going to go through the hoop for them. Good job by Barron to make it happen because they needed something to keep themselves in this game.
Barron has all 3 for Riceville. Crooks has 10 for Bishop Garrigan. Joyce floats from the lane, left it way short. Rebound pops into the hands of Jalen Barron.
I think Joyce was shocked by how open she was on that shot. She left a little short. She was expecting some contact or at least something there.
Joy Barron sidesteps into a 3, tried to bank it in, no. Into the hands of Jalen Barron on the rebound. Talati Fair, guarded by Crooks of 204, down onto the block. Working is Jalen Barron, and a whistle and a foul will result in 2 free throws here.
Yeah, that was going to come sooner or later. Emma Grand-Jeanette has just been playing some fired-up defense. She has been really moving her feet. She's been all over her opponents, and that time they got a step on her, and she missed the foul. Sending a shooter to the line.
So that'll be Maurer at the free throw line, and she'll drain the first foul shot. Riceville is the best free-throw shooting team in their conference at 61% this year. As Grand-Jeanette heads to the bench for Bishop Garrigan, Zoe Montag will replace her. 14-4, Bishop Garrigan over Riceville. As Maurer drains the second foul shot, nothing but net, making it 14-5.
That'll build some confidence for the Wildcats, but the question is, can they stop this offense? Garrigan hasn't really tried too many plays yet, other than those guards working that ball around at the top as they continue to do now.
Hand off to Joyce. Joyce crossover dribble, penetrates into the lane, scoop layup, no. Rebound was briefly controlled by Riceville, and then a push from behind will result in a foul by Bishop Garrigan, as that was Sarah Anderson, the sophomore, first person off the bench for Riceville, getting the rebound and the foul.
That'll be the foul on Capacious there, picking up her first foul on that rebound.
Bishop Garrigan picks up here in the full court into Talati Fair, now back over to Joy Barron. Barron up the near side of the court now, working against Joyce. Joyce keeps a body on her. In the near corner now is Barron with 1:36 on the clock. Up to Maurer. Maurer works towards the right. Montag will be screened here. Maurer blows by. She'll float it up. Crooks might have tipped it as it comes off far to the near side. And it's picked up by Joyce. Joyce will stop. Left angle three-pointer. Bounces off, no good. And it's rebounded by Barron. Barron passes it over to the right to Talati Fair. 1:15 to go in the quarter, 14-5 Bishop Garrigan. Fair drifts to the far corner, right in front of Golden Bear head coach Brandon Schwab. Elbow jumper on the way, Joy Barron misses off to the left, rebound, and it's into the side of the backboard from Anderson. Ball kicks out of bounds, and it will stay here with Riceville.
Yeah, that was the first no call of the game. There's some contact down there. Ashlyn Hovey did a nice job contesting the shot. She maybe got the ball and some arm. But now it's getting a little more physical here at the end of the last minute of the first quarter.
Barron using the pivot, getting it up top to Maurer with under a minute to go in the quarter. To the left wing, Barron, catch and fire triple, and she'll rattle it in.
That'll fire up the Riceville student section. A lot of animals over there, Tyler. They're all dressed like farm animals in this game tonight. The Bears, they're all dressed in white. It's white out versus the farm animals as far as the student sections go.
Yep, I see some cows, some cowboy hats, a lot of flannel over on the Riceville side. Joyce, right angle three-pointer, and she answers right back.
What an answer by Molly Joyce. They hit a three. She gives it right back to them, keep that lead the same.
Crooks 10 points, Joyce 7 for Bishop Garrigan as it's 17-8. Golden Bears leading Riceville. Bounce into the front court, Jalen Barron. Barron threads it inside. Johnson off the window, no, it's long, and Crooks rebounds.
Well, there was going to be one of those 8 assists you mentioned that Barron has per game, but her teammate just couldn't knock it down. Nice pass.
Anderson couldn't quite finish that time as now Joyce sidesteps into the lane and she'll finish again. 3 seconds to go in the quarter. Into Jalen Barron. 1 second to go. Barron will not take a shot here, and Bishop Garrigan comes out firing. 19-8. Golden Bears leading Riceville as we go to quarter number 2 on Home Country Radio KLGZ and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
More sports boosters making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Redding Gravel and Excavating, serving Algona and the surrounding area since 1948.
Erpelding Boyd & Company, CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Central Financial Services, where you belong.
Shoemaker Well and Water Care. They know water from the bottom to the tap.
Red Power Team in Bancroft, Corwith, West Bend, and Humboldt.
Grand Jeanette Jewelry and Merle Norman Cosmetics, offering sales, appraisals, design, and on-site repairs.
Bob Becker Construction and Wesley Lumber, always looking through the eyes of their customers.
State Line Cooperative, real people, real pride.
Bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
It's Bishop Garrigan 19 and Riceville 8 as we go to the second quarter on Home Country Radio and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. I'm Tyler Lance, my partner's Beanie Bodie. And Beanie, we are seeing two teams that like to play at a very fast pace.
Yeah, it makes it fun to call the game. Boy, that last drive by Molly Joyce with 4 seconds left in the first quarter, it's just a backbreaker for these Wildcats. She just sliced and diced, got the defense on her hip, took it all the way to the hoop. Nice job.
Elbow jumper on the way, Anderson. It's touched by Tigas, it looked like initially, but it is out of bounds here off of Riceville. Also in there was Jalen Barron, who they say was the last one to touch the ball.
Bears are really doing a good job hustling on defense, but it's really their pressure in the full court that's really making the Wildcats play out of sync. They have given up a couple open shots, but this pressure is going to wear them down.
Tigas off the screen, fires the top of the key triple, no, but Capacious gets another offensive rebound. She's done that quite well here down the stretch. Into Crooks, right of the lane, to the bucket, left the layup short, tries to get it back. A foul will be called here against Riceville.
Riceville needs to come out here in the second quarter and establish anything they can do to get some momentum.
Oh, no, correction. I think they're going to get Crooks on that one, actually, trying to get the ball back. I beg your pardon. So that'll be her first.
Well, she shrugs that off and gives Garrigan a chance to set up here in this kind of a 2-1-2 press.
Tawadi Fair goes over to the right to Barron. Jalen Barron bounces it back to Fair, but she traveled. She saw the sandwich of Grand Jeanette and Joyce coming that time and threw her off the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, this press is going to wear them down. They don't go really deep on the bench. You know, and as we keep seeing the name Fair out there, it is F-A-I-R. There's a lot of Fairs in the Algona Liston area, F-E-H-R. In case you're concerned, there's a lot of Fairs. F-E-H-R is over in the Riceville area. Different spelling.
Yes, this is Fair, as in I will go to the country fair coming up in the fall. Into Crooks. She lays it off the glass, and she scores again. Audie Crooks with 12 points.
You know, sometimes Audie Crooks doesn't hit it that clean. It bounces around on the rim for a while. Tonight, she is just true to mark.
Tawadi Fair flips it to the right, over to Joy Barron with 6:54 on the clock. Barron at the top of the key now, over to the right again to Fair. Fair comes to the left and then switches back to the right, stops on the wing. She'll turn 360 and hand it off to Joy Barron. Barron dribbles towards the left as Tigas defends. Here comes the screen. Tigas stays with it. Going all the way to the baseline is Barron. Now into the short corner for a jumper, and that one is splashed right through by Sarah Anderson.
That was a pretty shot by Anderson. A way to create a shot. They drove Tigas down towards the basket to open up that.
Joyce will try an in-rhythm three-pointer. It's off the mark, and it's rebounded by Anderson.
If Riceville can keep, getting those one-on-ones where someone drives and kicks out, they might get some shots because they're not going to get any inside buckets against Audie in the lane.
O'Malley Fair getting ready to check in at the next stoppage. Is going to the bucket was Barron. She laid it in, but they'll wave it off with a foul there before the shot.
Boy, you can really see that Joy Barron is the playmaker for this team. They need to get the ball into her hands. She's making things happen for her team. She just drove hard to the hoop through contact. She's the disher. She can give assists. She hit a three. They're going to get the ball into her hands if they're going to get back in this game.
O'Malley Fair comes back into the game. Into Anderson. Mid-range jumper. Rattles around the drain, but pops out to Capacious. It was Jalen Barron going to the bench as Joyce tries to go all the way, and she'll be fouled here and make another trip to the free-throw line.
Boy, Capacious really got up for that rebound, and then she makes that outlet pass, knows where to find Molly Joyce. Molly Joyce was three-quarter speed when she caught that pass, and she's up the floor in a heartbeat. I couldn't say anything because you have to pause because Molly's going to be at the basket so fast.
Joyce will have that one bounce off the rim and roll to the left. But to go back to a couple minutes ago, Beanie, your point about Joy Barron being a playmaker is well taken. She's number 1 in the Iowa Star North in assists per game. She's number 2 in rebounding. She's number 3 in steals. And she's also averaging over 11 points a game. So you are not lying when you say she is making a ton of plays out there for Riceville.
Yeah, and that assist is the forgotten stat.
A steal by Grand Jeanette in the backcourt. Took it from Barron. Her shot is missed, but Joyce rebounds on the weak side. Big turnover forced by the Golden Bears. Joyce reverses, hits it off the bottom of the backboard, as that was a sloppy possession there from the Golden Bears. Up to Fair. O'Malley Fair backs up towards the far corner. Comes onto the wing. Barron fakes. She goes into the lane, flips it over Crooks, and she drops it in.
Well, that was an athletic move by a young player. That's a fantastic play by Barron. The shot fake got it all started. She does a shot fake, freezes the defense, gets them off their feet, drives to the lane, and then puts up that jump hook over Crooks, which we have not seen this year hardly at all.
Yeah, perfect summation of that play, and that'll make it 22-12. Bishop Garrigan still leading Riceville. Joyce just to the right of center, guarded by Maurer. Joyce will drive in from the right side. She'll scoop the layup up, and she scores on the blow-by.
Oh, I'm giving Molly Joyce a high five at school tomorrow because she drove right, makes the layup with her right hand. Pretty play by Joyce.
Fair off the ball on the left wing. She falls down, rolls it backwards to Barron. 4:52 now to go. Barron drifts towards the right, gets the screen from Fair, stops on the elbow, pump fakes, and goes back to Fair. Fair, a jumper in the lane, knuckles a couple times on the rim and drops through.
And there was Barron on the assist, finding her teammates. She's got great court vision. Boy, anyone would like to have Barron on their team.
24-14. I'll tell you what, Bishop Garrigan got off to that big start. They were up 12-1 early, but the teams have been pretty much even since that time. Into Crooks, catches behind the defense, misses right at the rim, follows, and she gets fouled.
What a catch by Crooks. So they've got Barron fronting Crooks. Now Barron is choosing to lean into Crooks with everything she's got with her weight. It's not budging Audie at all, but what she should do is jump, get off the ground, and try to knock that inbounds pass away. Until she does that, we're going to keep feeding that ball to Crooks.
Crooks drains the first foul shot, and it's so difficult. It's one thing when you're in the top of Iowa West and you're seeing Crooks twice a year and you can kind of know what to expect, but none of these Riceville players have ever seen Crooks or likely a player of Crooks' physicality. As she drains the foul shot, it makes it 26-14. Timeout's called on the floor. It's a full timeout, so we'll step aside here for 60 seconds as Bishop Garrigan leads Riceville 26-14.
More Sports Boosters bringing you this tournament broadcast.
Vasky Sales and Service of Bancroft, Hustler and Snapper Lawnmowers, and complete automotive repair.
Security State Bank in Algona, Burt and Laverne, your partners in community banking.
Helmer's Insurance Agency, get your insurance quote today.
Jumbo's Liquor in Wesley.
Al Lobig Marine of Wesley, Alumacraft Boats, and Mercury Outboards.
Windsor Manor, excellence in senior living every day.
Steyr Ag Aviation, aerial and ground application, agronomy services.
Marceau's Golden Harvest Seed Sales, Jim Marceau.
The Market, be happy, shop the Market.
All bringing you this broadcast on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Bishop Garrigan 26, Riceville 14 here on Home Country Radio and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream as the two teams come out of the timeout with 4:25 to go here in the second quarter. Riceville will start off with the basketball coming out of this timeout as it'll be jogged into the front court by Madison Maurer. Drifts towards the right as Grand Jeanette defends. 4:16 on the clock. Into the far corner it goes to number 21, Samantha Wilberding, who's playing for the first time tonight. Add some 6-foot-tall height here to the court. Anderson throws a wild shot off the glass from the foul line, and that one misses. And here comes Joyce for Bishop Garrigan. Slams on the gas pedal, goes to the bucket. A foul on the play, not in the act of shooting, as that'll be number 5 here against Riceville. Check that number 6.
Such a quick step to the basket by Joyce. Now that she knows that she can get around the corner on that play, she's just going to keep taking it to the hoop until someone comes over with the help defense to stop her. You know, once you get something going that's working, there's no reason to stop doing it, and they can't stop Joyce to the basket at this point.
So a 4-1 on the clock. Bishop Garrigan will have it just to the right on the baseline underneath the basket. They are taking a quick check here at the scoring table of something.
You know, that last timeout was called by Coach Brandon Schwab for the Bears. Good timeout. You know, they're up big. And, of course, this is the time in a game where sometimes you get a lead, you start to get complacent. Now, Coach Schwab does not want his team to do that. You can see in the timeout he was given lots of directions, what he wants to see, what he wants to work on. Because they got to stay sharp just being up this lead. You know, we get complacent when we're up with a big lead. And in fact, the Garrigan crowd is so used to being a big lead, anything less than 10, everyone feels like the game is close.
That discussion was about who the foul was on, as they'll give it to number 1, Madison Maurer. Crooks in the lane again with the right hand and puts it off the glass at a wide angle to make it 28-14.
Yeah, once again, boy, she's on fire. She is knocking them right through the net. I bet she takes a 3 before the night's over.
Jalen Barron sidesteps into a 3 from the top of the key. It kicks to the far side of the court, and there is a hard collision as Samantha Wilberding went crashing into the bleachers to try to save that. She pops right back up, though, which is great.
Yeah, Wilberding definitely hit the bleachers hard. You could hear the bleachers through the whole gym, which is saying something since it's pretty loud in here already. But she just pops right up. There's tough players out there tonight.
28-14, Bishop Garrigan right now doubling up Riceville as the two teams try to go to state. Capacious takes one dribble towards the right. Her pass is knocked away off the hands of Tamati Fair and out of bounds.
Zoe Montag came into the game after that timeout. She's been shooting a lot of great three-pointers for the Bears all season. And Ashlyn Hovey also coming around baseline is in for the Bears. So we've got Audie Crooks, a freshman. No seniors on the floor right now.
Joyce flips it into Crooks, catches with one hand, goes up with it, and she'll be fouled and will shoot 2 free throws.
You know, that's got to be a hard play to practice for Coach Schwab in practice. It's not just lobbing the ball into Crooks. Like, they have to create angles and they have to set that pass up. And it must be hard to work on in practice, but you've got Ella Moeller on the team who is also 6 foot tall, and they can work on that lob over and over again. You know, it helps to have those teammates to practice against.
You read my mind exactly, partner, because I was just going to point out Mahler probably is sort of that scout team player in practice where you say, hey, Ella, go ahead and front Audie Crooks and try to deny the pass here, and we'll simulate what the other teams will do.
You can imagine the number of repetitions they do in practice with Ella Moeller and Audie Crooks working on that lob pass to make it look easy during the games.
30-14 after the 2 Crooks foul shots. With the basketball, it's Riceville. Kylie Dvorak playing for the first time tonight. Comes to O'Malley Fair. She'll rise from just outside the lane, and she drops it in to make it 30-16.
Well, O'Malley Fair has really made some nice catches. Gets her hands ready, catches that ball, and she's got a nice shot. You can see how she put up some points for her team this year.
O'Malley Fair is a 1,000-point scorer in her career. As Joyce dances down the lane, she got fouled and she scored it. Molly Joyce is just attacking the basket tonight.
Just can't stop her. If you're doubling Crooks and leaving that seam, she is going to hit it, and you got to help down, and they're not doing that. And Molly's played enough basketball to recognize that. You forget how fast she is, but you know, she's state champ, I believe, in the long jump.
Correct.
I mean, she's got some speed.
And Joyce will put that one in, making it 33-16. And you have to be a great sprinter to be good at the long jump in order to get that far off the ground and that far away.
Oh, steal by Joyce. Look at that.
She'll steal it right away. She'll flip it up to Capacious. Capacious behind everyone, and she'll lay it in. Molly Joyce just taking it away and making it 35-16.
Well, it wasn't the steal, but as she's falling down, she flips it off like a shortstop going to the ground.
How about that being the first non-Crooks, non-Joyce bucket for Bishop Garrigan, as Capacious scored that one. Barron bounces it to the foul line. Jump shot blocked. Anderson got stuffed by Crooks that time with 2:17.
Yeah, you're totally right, Tyler. I mean, that was the first bucket that wasn't Joyce or Crooks in a while. And here you've got Abby Capacious, who everyone knows can score the ball as well as anyone on the team. But she hasn't even had to. She just takes her opportunities.
Montag right wing, inside Crooks, not room to shoot it. She'll work back outside to Hovey, and she's a little bit outside on that one as the ball sails into the Riceville student section.
Oh, Joyce with a big smile and slaps her hands together. She'd like to do that one again. She's trying to get her team an assist. Audie does have a fair amount of assists on the season, but usually she finishes when she gets that ball that deep in the paint. But wanted to give a little something to Ashlyn out there on the wing. A little jump shot.
Hovey's gotten a little bit more run here in the postseason, as it's caught by Maurer. Maurer goes inside Anderson, tries to hook it over Crooks. That one bounces off to the right, and it's taken by Hovey.
kind of a desperation shot by Anderson, but you could see that she's also got those skills. She's pretty tall, but she has to change her shot so much to get over Crooks.
She has taken some high difficulty attempts tonight as Montag flashes across the lane, hooks it into Crooks, and she scores. What an assist from the freshman that time.
Yeah, I don't know what was prettier, the assist by Montag or the bucket by Crooks.
Barron guarded by Montag. Barron waving it around over her head, gives to Fair on the left wing. Fair pumping, flipping it over to the right to Maurer. 1:13 to go in the half. Back to the left. 3-point ball on the way. It wedges inside, no. Rebound Fair. Blocked by Crooks. It goes right into the hands of Barron. Her jump shot misses. Fourth opportunity and then a foul. Riceville stuck with that one, and they'll be rewarded with a couple free throws here coming from Sarah Anderson.
Wow, what a block on the initial attempt by Crooks. I mean, we've been tooting the horn all season, but the referee is standing right there. The student section across the way wants contact, but the referee is standing right there and says, wow, that was a great block by Crooks. She just demolished that ball and no contact.
The sophomore Anderson makes the first foul shot. She's been the leading bench scorer this season for Riceville at just under 4.5 points per game. As Anderson tries again, that one will bounce around, and she'll get the friendly drop to make it 37-18.
This team for Riceville, very young. Just one senior out there right now and a few seniors on the bench. But a lot of young players out there for this Riceville squad. And you heard the coach talk about their tremendous community support.
Into Crooks, backing inside and scoring it over Barron. 22 points, Audie Crooks, 39-16. Riceville has made a huge progression over the past 5 seasons. As they have the basketball right now, Maurer goes into the lane to Barron, turns and gives it back to Fair. Foul line jumper on the way, bounces off to the left, rebounded by Anderson for Riceville. And Maurer tried to jump and pass, and then she landed, and that's a travel.
You know, you go back to Barron passed up a shot there almost at the free throw line, and she didn't want to take it because she didn't want to risk getting stuffed by Crooks, and it changed their offense. Their whole crowd wanted her to shoot that ball, but the young lady said, forget it. I'm not shooting in front of Crooks here.
18 seconds to go as Joyce dribbles. Pass to the left to Capacious at the edge of the Clear Lake logo. Down to 13 seconds as Bishop Garrigan wants the last shot. Capacious drifts, flips it left to Joyce with 8 seconds. Joyce getting ready here as Maurer guards. Joyce towards the right. Joyce crosses over. Step back 3 on the way. And she sticks it! Nothing but net at the buzzer for Molly Joyce. 42-16 as she continues to shoot with confidence.
Wow, what a step back 3 by Joyce. Zoe Montag, first one to greet her and give her a high five as they close out the half. I saw Coach Schwab telling everyone to get down. He's just going to let Molly go to work, but I thought she was going to drive. Step back for the 3, even better. I guess 3 points is better than 2.
Molly Joyce ends the first half with 18 points as it's 42-18. Bishop Garrigan leading Riceville. We'll take a timeout for a couple minutes and come back with some analysis here at halftime. Next on Home Country Radio, KLGZ, and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
High school tournament sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports boosters.
Algona Dairy Queen. Their new season is underway, now open 11 to 9 daily.
Algona Floor Design, your local flooring specialist since 1978.
Dietering Brothers in Bancroft, farm equipment, sales, and service.
Goshi Custom Cabinets. They'll meet all your kitchen, countertop, and cabinet needs.
7 Sweets. A day without sweets is a day wasted.
Tigas Chiropractic. Your freedom of pain is in their hands.
North Iowa Cleaning Solutions in Britt, making your vehicle shine from the inside out.
Friends Salon. Your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Rothler Electric. Don't be left in the dark. Call 295-7117 today.
I'll bring you this game on the radio.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Brady Ross, and I'm here to help. We can work together to understand today's financial landscape and make sure you achieve your goals. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Let's connect. Contact me, Brady Ross, at 515-295-7763. Together with Bruce Keith, Jerry Sadler, and Mackenzie Keith, we are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Get ahead of the game and schedule your students' back-to-school appointments with Kossuth Regional Health Center. We're all hoping for a healthy start to the school year. Call the CareHC Clinic in Algona or Bancroft to schedule well-child visits, immunizations for kindergarten and middle school students, and wellness exams for student athletes. Don't wait until the last minute. Get ahead of the game and call Kossuth Regional Health Center at 515-295-2451 or visit krhc.com.
Your home for healthcare.
More Sports Boosters bringing you this tournament broadcast.
Dean Meyer Electric. They'll help you look to a bright future.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. Everything's easier, fresher, and faster with your Algona Fairway.
Algona Manor Care Center. Your home away from home with quality care.
Mansky Farm Drainage. Providing top quality professional service to the area since 1969.
Furch Plumbing and Heating. Here for you, anytime, day or night.
Algona Municipal Utilities. Community owned for community benefit.
North Iowa Lumber and Design. You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping. Contact them at 515-320-3840 or schindlerlawncare@gmail.com.
Premier Pizza, located in downtown Algona.
All bringing you this tournament broadcast.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
And we come back here at halftime on the Algona Radio YouTube stream and on Home Country Radio KLGZ. Tonight's YouTube streaming brought to you by Chemna Auto, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona State Farm Insurance agent Billy Offerman. Algona Municipal Utilities, where the community owned for community benefit. And families of Bishop Garrigan High School, all sponsoring the sports streaming. Also, we've got Greg Penning and Company Certified Public Accountants as the scoreboard sponsor, as right now the scoreboard is reading Bishop Garrigan 42 and Riceville 18. Again, I'm Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodie as I'll take a quick look here at some leading scores for this game. For Bishop Garrigan, it's been a lot of Audie Crooks, a lot of Molly Joyce, as Crooks has 22, Joyce has 18. Right now the leading scorer for Riceville is Joy Barron with 8. And Beanie, I'll tell you what, in the pregame interview, Coach Schwab said he wanted to see a full four-quarter game out of Bishop Garrigan. They have played two pretty fantastic quarters so far against a very strong Riceville team.
Yes, because it certainly doesn't have to be a 42-18 score right now. I mean, this Riceville team clearly has some talented young players. They've got a ton of community support. Their coach in the pregame really impressed me with her adopting the love and support of the community. I mean, this Riceville community is pumped about this girls basketball team. They're living a movie story over there, and part of the movie is to come in and beat this Bishop Garrigan team that is probably better athletically and physically than their team. But, boy, Garrigan just really closed the door on them by coming out and playing solid basketball. I like that timeout Coach Schwab called when they were only up 12 and said, hey, keep the hammer down. Like, don't give this team who is playing for a chance to go to state any sort of window to get in there and get some momentum going. And they came out of that timeout. And, boy, credit to Molly Joyce. She just was relentless getting that ball to the hoop. And Audie Crooks with 6 rebounds and 4 blocks. And Molly Joyce with 2 steals, and Capacious has 3 boards. Like, they are just not letting anything get by easily for this Riceville team. So way to come out and start with authority.
And that point about the timeout is well taken, because since that timeout, Bishop Garrigan went on a 16-6 run to end the half. So Coach Schwab's message obviously sunk into the Golden Bears. Like you said, Molly Joyce doing a great job here tonight. And I'll tell you what's impressed me about Molly Joyce. In the most recent playoff game against Nashua Plainfield, it was a lot of three-pointers, living outside the perimeter. And, of course, Joyce is great at that in her own right. But tonight, it's really been different. It's been Joyce driving to the bucket, attacking, going with both sides, right and left, and then the occasional three-pointer as she has really really focused on the attack here tonight, and that has been tough for Riceville to defend, especially when they're trying to also defend the lob into Audie Crooks. And on the defensive end for Bishop Garrigan, you can kind of see they're forcing Riceville to take a lot of uncomfortable shots at just strange angles that are highly contested. And I think you have to love what you're doing defensively as well if you're Bishop Garrigan.
Yeah, they have not got a clean shot. Maybe they had one open three-pointer they were able to take, but they're playing with a lot of panic on offense because the plays that they're trying to run are just not there. And that is frustrating for a team. You work all week in practice, running plays that you think are going to work against a team. Garrigan's came out, has been playing their man-to-man defense, and that's all they've needed to do because they've just been disrupting the offense so much for the Riceville Wildcats. But, you know, everything looks good when you're making baskets, and Garrigan is really on fire tonight. Crooks is making her inside shots look easy, and believe me, they're not when she's getting hammered like that. And Joyce is making it look easy, and Capacious knocked down a couple easy ones. Their free throws have been true. So whenever you're making baskets at that kind of clip, everything looks really good. I mean, Joyce drives to the dish at the end of the first quarter and knocks it down with 4 seconds left, and then she does a step-back three right before halftime. If those don't go, then it starts to rattle the confidence. And, you know, we're just purveyors from the press box, but Molly Joyce really plays well when it seems, when she's having fun. And when you see the smiles and the fun, and her confidence just explodes out there, and she becomes unstoppable. And Crooks has really grown into a player who she just seems to be fun-loving all the time. She's just all smiles right now down in warm-ups, and why not? They're up 42-18. But even when times are tough, Audie Crooks is one of those players that just seems to enjoy playing the game of basketball. And, of course, Capacious does too. Like, she's a gym rat through and through. So that really goes a long way. Grand Jeanette playing great. She's got a steal. That was a big steal she had. She almost had two, but she traveled right after. And Tigas has a big board. Those 5 starters, you know, you just hope this 42-18 score holds because, you know, Tyler, we joke sometimes around the radio studio how all the commercials say we deserve something. But in this case, you know, I'd really like to see these girls. I think they deserve a chance to go down to state. Not that the Riceville Wildcats don't as well, but you know, you just want to see good basketball the rest of the way.
You're right, and there's a certain relaxation and a certain ease that comes with being there and having done it before. Bishop Garrigan's obviously gone to state 2 years in a row. They've been in a gym like this, in a situation like this in back-to-back seasons, whereas Riceville, this is the furthest they've ever gone since it's been 5-on-5 basketball. And there's a pressure trying to become the first team to go to state since the 1980s. And you can tell Bishop Garrigan's experience. I mean, they're laughing in the pregame, they're taking selfies, they're dancing around, whereas a team like Riceville that hasn't been there, they just don't have that same relaxation going into an environment like tonight.
I saw that the Garrigan basketball team took a picture with you, Tyler Lance, before the game. That's already all over the internet already. It's going viral, but the student section for Garrigan down there, calm right now. They're not squeezing any knuckles yet. But this Riceville crowd, they're still having fun. They're down, but they're going to enjoy this. They got here. They're going to enjoy it. There's a guy with a lasso over there. Somehow he got a full rope into the student section. I'm not sure how that got past the front desk, but there's definitely a cowboy with a lasso over there in the Riceville student section. Well, we'll see what Coach Fair has dialed up for the Riceville Wildcats as they have to face this Bear team for another second half that has their number right now.
We get ready for the second half of basketball action. We'll see if Riceville has one more push to try to come back, or if Bishop Garrigan can slam the door here in the third and fourth quarters. Right now it's Bishop Garrigan 42 and Riceville 18 as the starting 5 for both teams return to the court right now. Bishop Garrigan will begin the second half with the basketball as they will head from right to left on your radio dial. Again, big thank you to everyone tuning in, whether you're supporting Bishop Garrigan, supporting Riceville, or you just want to watch a little basketball here tonight. We appreciate you joining us for this game. Joyce is on the left wing, looking inside, passing right to Grand Jeanette. She'll drive center of the lane, floats it up and scores it as she line drives it in.
Well, I thought they might make that adjustment and might start helping over and keep Joyce out of the lane, but she gets there again.
Barron powering her way in, hooks it over Joyce, left it short, and Joyce rebounds. Barron is so physical, but Joyce stuck with it on that one as she crosses over, dances into the lane, goes off the window again, and she scores it.
Wow, what a night she is having. You never know who's going to turn in the most points between Crooks and Joyce. Right now, Joyce is behind Crooks by 2.
A kick into the corner. Barron will fire a long 2 of her foot on the line. It taps into the line. It's picked up by Capacious. Outlet Grand Jeanette. She's all alone. She lays it in, and it's 48-18.
Oh, there's Capacious. You know, Capacious can be a point guard in her own right. She's just right behind Joyce there. What a vision Capacious has to get that rebound and see the cutting, speedy Grand Jeanette going up the floor.
And a 60-second timeout called by Coach Darcy Fair for Riceville. We'll come back in 1 minute with the rest of the third quarter.
Tournament basketball on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports boosters.
Lichter's Garage Opener Service and Appliance Repair.
Advanced Interior Care. Professional home and business cleaning of carpet, ceramic floors, upholstery, and window treatments.
Algona Hearing Center. Better living through better hearing.
Threads. Pop into Threads for all your screen printing, embroidery, and custom apparel needs.
Modern Countertops and Solutions, offering top-of-the-line customer service for your next countertop remodel or new home build.
Emeralds, featuring your favorite steaks and seafood, a great salad bar, and more.
Advanced Drainage Systems, solving modern water challenges. Mike Arndorfer, sales rep.
Good Samaritan Society, senior housing and services rooted in God's love, celebrating 100 years.
All sponsoring this broadcast on the radio.
We return here to the third quarter with 6:57 on the clock, and Bishop Garrigan leading Riceville 48-18, trying to earn their third consecutive berth at state. Barron has it up top, passes left to Maurer, catch and fire triple, bounces a couple times on the rack, and Crooks rebounds after the miss.
Nice little play by Riceville. They ran Maurer on the baseline. She got a screen for the open three.
Joyce stops and ribbon for a three, and she'll bury it again.
Well, talk about confidence that Molly Joyce is playing with. I believe that makes it the 35-point lead, and now the clock will run.
So 51-18.
Two more away.
51-18 in favor of Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears are approaching that mark, driving inside O'Malley Fair, and on the penetration, she'll lay it in to make it 51-20.
Good strong drive by to the basket by Fair.
Oh, a good find inside. Crooks lays it in, and she got fouled. Molly Joyce hadn't even gotten it to half court yet. She threw it all the way down underneath the basket to Crooks, who gets the lay in and can try to finish an and one.
That's a 50-foot lob pass she threw to Crooks. Boy, her and Capacious and Grand Jeanette and Tigas have all just really honed in on knowing where Audie is at all point on the floor. So good at throwing that lob pass.
Audie Crooks right now working with 24 points. This is Audie Crooks' 19th 20-plus point game in the 25, including tonight, that Bishop Garrigan has played. And she'll finish the three-point play with a swish, making it 54-20 Bishop Garrigan. Barron comes to Fair across the foul line. To Lottie Fair, guarded by Grand Jeanette, who pokes at the basketball. Fair, high pass to the left, looking for Fair. O'Mallory Fair tries to shovel it back into play, and she avoids the over and back, but it's right to Bishop Garrigan. Tigas up to Joyce, and Joyce with the left-handed layup.
And that will get the clock running. I can do that math.
I knew you were a science teacher and not a math teacher as the ball gets knocked out of bounds.
I got to defend myself. I saw it 51-38, and I thought they hadn't put the points up there yet. I thought those 2 points were about to go on, which would have... All right, Tyler, you could give me the look in the box here. I can do math.
Sure. Grand Jeanette tries to jump a pass. She knocks it down, and she'll take it away from Talati Fair. Grand Jeanette crosses into the lane, fires it off the glass with the right hand, no. Capacious follows, left it short. Crooks with the third opportunity, no. Crooks the fourth opportunity, and she gets it.
Oh, I wish Grand Jeanette would have knocked that down. She deserved it after making that great play, but couldn't get it to fall. Capacious with the board, and then Crooks.
Mid-range jumper O'Malley Fair bounces a couple times on the rim and pops into Crooks' arms. Joyce with 5 minutes on the clock. Joyce on the wing, heads towards the center, crosses over, flips it inside Crooks, catches too deep to shoot, goes 360, body spill to the floor, and Crooks lays it in.
Well, a good decision by Joyce not to drive there. Now, Crooks was doing her footwork, and as she pivots and turns her body, she catches people, and they go flying. But no foul.
Pass knocked away, Joyce intercepts, and then a foul prevents the fast break as Fair hooked Joyce that time. And Bishop Garrigan will get it here with 4:36 and running.
So that is the real challenge of guarding Audie Crooks. You know, in the rule book, you have verticality. You can put your arms straight up. That doesn't do a lot of good because she's taller than you. And so then you try to be physical with her and really push her with your hips. But then as she does her footwork, then you go flying.
Into the lane, Barron intercepts the pass, comes left to Fair. Fair looks for the baseline, and she'll be blocked and fouled by Bishop Garrigan.
It used to work that people would try to draw charges on Audie. But Audie has worked on her footwork so much that she's able to not just rely on that drop step and lower. She doesn't lower her shoulder anymore. She keeps that ball up. You know, that's just a lot of skills she's worked on over the years from probably middle school to her junior year now.
Bishop Garrigan running some subs off the bench. Ella Mahler, Ashlyn Hovey, Zoe Montag in the game. Also sub coming in for Riceville, as it'll be a long jumper on the way. That one is long. It'll go out of bounds off of Bishop Garrigan. Right now, Morgan Fair, the junior, getting her first run of the night for the Wildcats. Also into the game, number 10, Lauren Hemmen, a senior, who will also be seeing her first action of this evening. From the baseline, looking is Morgan Fair. Fair gets it into play off the hands of Barron, but it's picked up by Hemmen, who saves it with 3:22 on the clock. Bounce pass outside, Fair. Fair stops, flips it just to the edge of the lane to Sarah Anderson. Around the perimeter it goes to Hemmen. Hemmen over to the right to Fair. Takes a brief glimpse of the basket. Joyce tries to steal the ball away, but she reached in and got called for the foul.
You know, really few fouls called this game. A couple quick fouls called at the beginning of the game. A touch foul on Joyce, and that really has kept these teams from turning this into a foul fest. Hopefully I didn't jinx it.
We'll see here plenty of time as Anderson will take a jumper from just inside the foul line. It's off to the left. She chases down her own miss off the tip, tries to kick it out. It deflects behind everyone. Maurer picks it up for Riceville. Mahler knocks it away, and it's taken by Hovey for Bishop Garrigan.
Good hands by Mahler, creating a steal for Hovey.
Montag in the near corner. Catch and rip three. Off the rim, no. Mahler rebounds, though, with some good length and gets it back outside Hovey. Bullet down onto the block to Montag. Takes one dribble, adjusts herself and misses. Crooks rebounds. Crooks falls down, and that'll be out of bounds off of Crooks.
That was Crooks' 10th rebound before she stumbled and fell and lost the ball. You know, Montag had that ball under the hoop. She had a clean look, but she wanted to take a power dribble, get a handle on it, and go back up. By then, the defense had collapsed.
That's Crooks' 20th double-double of the season, as she has 29 points to go along with those 10 boards you mentioned. With the ball, it's Barron. Gives the handoff to Maurer. Maurer right angle three, and she'll airball it as it heads out of bounds and back to Bishop Garrigan.
So that errant three-point shot by the Wildcats, you can see the look on their faces. That doesn't usually happen. I mean, you're looking at a solid team that's a little bit flustered right now. I mean, they're 22-2. These girls are not used to losing, and I'm sure they don't like it.
Their two losses this year have come by a combined 6 points, so this is new territory for a very good team. As Montag attacks the baseline, scoops it into the lane, Mahler, kicks it out top of the key, Hovey. Her free ball is swished.
Wow, assist to Ella Mahler, and the secondary assist to Montag, who drove the lane, made a nice scoop pass to Mahler, who touch passed it out to the three-point line. Pretty offense by the reserves here in the game right now.
Hovey's really picked up the three-point shooting. Earlier in the year, she was struggling to hit, but now she's over 27%. As the entry pass into Barron results in a foul. So they'll get Hovey on that one with 1 minute and ticking to go.
You know, every time we start talking about how a player is playing so great, they go and do a foul or travel or something. But yeah, Hovey, you bring up Hovey, the last few games, she has been money from the three-point line, just swishing shots off the bench. And you're exactly right, Tyler. She's played sparingly all season, but has really come on for a few big minutes here late in the season.
Crooks and Joyce will check out as a three from the far side is swished. Hemmen splashes it through to make it 63-23.
Grand Jeanette running the point for a change.
So Grand Jeanette will get an opportunity. Lob inside Mahler, catching just like Crooks, but she couldn't quite finish after turning.
She was, you said it, just like Crooks, the same play. They make the lob to Mahler because she's tall as well.
Into the lane, Maurer floating and missing, and Mahler reaches above everyone for the rebound. Now Grand Jeanette will handle it here as we take under 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Bishop Garrigan has built a 40-point lead. Driving in Montag. Montag hooks it up, and she puts it in as the final second ticks away, and that's the end of the third quarter. 65-23 is right now. Bishop Garrigan has taken apart Riceville, and they are 8 minutes away from returning to state. We'll be back for the final part of the action next on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports boosters.
Hine Endeavors, proud supporter of Bishop Garrigan Athletics.
Miller Construction, complete construction. Contact Scott or Lynn today.
Doctors Klepper and Trainer Family Vision Clinic. Let's talk about your eyes.
Miller Sports and Service, your local Kawasaki, Himco, and ATV dealer, along with Aluma Trailers.
Prism Wealth Advisors, your roadmap to financial freedom.
Cook Scrap Iron at 900 East McGregor Street in Algona.
Murphy Realty and Management, serving Algona and surrounding communities.
AK's Chrome Kitchen, friendly service, family environment.
All sponsors of this broadcast.
It's fourth quarter time here on Home Country Radio, KLGZ, and on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. With 8 minutes of basketball left, Bishop Garrigan leading Riceville by a score of 65-23 as Riceville has the basketball. Bounce pass inside. Anderson shoots over the top of Tigas, and she'll draw the foul.
That'll be another touch foul. Tigas just going straight up there. Called some contact with the body. That'll stop the clock. And to get a free throw shooter to the line in Barron. And those are those touch fouls that are harmless now at 65-24. Harmless, of course, in this game, but it's fouls like that has been real frustration for Garrigan when they're down at the state tournament the last couple of years, getting people in some foul trouble. But hate to talk about the state tournament already, but you might want to start looking at a hotel, Tyler Lance, if you're going to stay down there. It looks like the Bears are on their way.
Into Crooks off the pass from Capacious, and she finishes again to make it 67-25. You may be right, as Bishop Garrigan had a 23-5 scoring edge in that third quarter. O'Malley Fair, left angle three. That one rattles off, no. Rebounded, and it's put back by Jalen Barron. Bishop Garrigan has done a nice job tonight, really not giving O'Malley Fair a lot of three-point looks, which is an area where she has burned a lot of teams this season.
You know, and you can see, Tyler, now the Wildcats of Riceville are more relaxed.
Oh, a handoff to Joyce, and she'll score it. It was a give and go, and Crooks got the wide-open handoff to Joyce, and she lays it in.
Crooks is all smiles. She loves that play. She catches it, a little football handoff to Joyce, cutting down the lane.
Joyce now with 27 as a three-point ball from the right angle. Talati Fair, no. It's tapped out. Tigas had a hand on it briefly. O'Malley Fair picks it up, and she'll be tripped here and fouled by Tigas.
Tigas going for that ball there. She squinted because she was about to take a hand in the face. And that happens a lot in basketball. You miss a play because you're ready to take contact, and then you change your momentum. I mean, you change shots in the lane when you have someone trying to block your shot. It's a big part of the game.
A step back deep triple. O'Malley Fair bounces high off the rim, no. Talati Fair follow, no. Off the bottom of the rim. It's out of bounds, and it will go back to Bishop Garrigan.
O'Malley Fair is pretty fierce. She's the senior out there for the the Riceville team. She's going to have to say goodbye to basketball, but they have a lot of great players out there that are going to be back for Riceville next year as the clock continues to tick. Already 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter with this running clock situation.
Bishop Garrigan clears the bench. Crooks of 29 and Joyce of 27 will rest up and get ready for Wells Fargo as we're under 6 minutes to go. And we'll give you the lineup here for Bishop Garrigan as soon as we catch it. Kaylin Capacious with the ball over to the right to Zoe Montag, joined by Ella Mahler. And that'll be a travel. Ashlyn Hovey also on the floor. Reagan Murphy, who is the offending party there, coming off the bench.
Reagan did that travel where you're not quite sure what you're going to do out on that wing. Zoe Montag got called for that travel lots during the beginning of the year, but she has really tempered that and trained herself not to do that travel on the wing.
O'Malley Fair, step back Jay, and she hits it.
So look at that. That's a great shot by O'Malley Fair for Riceville as they're going to clear the benches. That was a great shot. You can see now that they're playing relaxed, boy, they have some offensive weapons, but they were so flustered that whole first half. Garrigan got way too out in front for them to ever have a chance here. But now they're looking smooth and very comfortable.
Bishop Garrigan's just a different beast to have to face as they're ranked number 2 in Class 1A. Montag over to the right wing to Murphy with 5:01 to go. It's not going to end the way Riceville wanted as the pass is intercepted by Sarah Anderson, but they have made a tremendous improvement over the past 5 seasons if you include this one. They went from 5 wins to 7 to 12 to 18 and now 22 as Anderson cans the jumper to make it 69-31.
Yes, Anderson has a quick release. She just catches it, turns, and shoots. That's a skill that she's clearly honed over the season. I mean, 22-2. That's a good team that is out there that are going to have to take a bench now as the Riceville Wildcats are going to clear the bench and take out these girls that had a fantastic season, 22-2. Made it through the tournament all the way to the final until they ran into the number 2 team in the Bears. Really feel for those girls over there as they have to say goodbye to the basketball court in high school basketball.
So with a quick timeout being called here, we'll take a timeout as well for word from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union right here on our YouTube page right now.
The definition of sportsmanship is the quality of showing fairness.
Respect and generosity towards the opposing team and officials.
The things you say and do are a direct reflection of your school and community.
Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game. Enjoy the game.
And we come back here in the fourth quarter, 4:35 to go as Bishop Garrigan leads Riceville 69-31. Both teams have emptied out the bench, and the Golden Bears will start mentally preparing for a trip to state. With the basketball, it's Hovey. Hovey had it knocked away briefly, but picks it back up as Madison Maurer was defending on that play. Montag flips it over to the left, and now she'll get it back here. Bishop Garrigan again. Serves in. Elena Casey.
Montag just shot a 25-foot three-pointer way back there and drains it while you were checking the lineups, Tyler. Wow, I thought Garrigan was just going to run some clock, and Zoe said, I'll just shoot this if you're leaving me open, and she drained it.
Montag with 5 points. She'll take a heat check every now and then as the pass is hooked into the lane to Maurer. Goes back outside to Fair. The Fair in the game right now is Morgan Fair, the junior. Over to the right wing. Catch and fire three. Wilberthing bounces off to the strong side. And it is picked up here by Casey for Bishop Garrigan.
Montag will do the point guard duties. Joyce, starting point guard, I think probably Capacious would be the backup if any trouble should arise in Wells Fargo. And then Zoe Montag, who's point guard right now, is very capable as a ball handler. So, if you're a Bear fan, you know that there's been some trouble. Joyce got in some foul trouble a couple years ago, and plenty of help ball handling this year in Capacious and Montag.
Bishop Garrigan's grown a lot as a team since that first state championship game they made it to. As Hovey hooks it up, misses from the lane. Muller tries to chase it down, but it's rebounded by Maurer for Riceville. Strategies changed a little bit. Players have largely matured. Over to the right wing, three ball on the way. No, it's off to the right. Tried to be saved into play by Hemmen, but she couldn't stop it.
Hemmen tried to save it, couldn't stop it, but she didn't realize that Kaylin Capacious had just made a little bit of a contact with it there, too. She could have just let it go as Kaylin Capacious is now going to take a seat. Reagan Murphy back in the game here.
So 2:45 to go. Golden Bears bench continuing to get some run here as Hovey flips it high inside to Mahler. It's a little behind her and knocked away. Riceville has the takeaway there, and the foul's going to be committed for Bishop Garrigan by Reagan Murphy.
Now there's the difference right there between Crooks and Muller. Both are tall, good players. But Barron was fronting Muller like she's done to Crooks all day and just leaning into Muller with everything she's got. And Muller had to give some ground like two wrestlers going at it. Crooks doesn't give that ground because of her size, and that's a big difference there, and that's why that lob pass didn't work.
And it'll be Barron checking out for the last time here tonight, and will be replaced by number 22, Lily Fair. With 2:02 to go, 72-31, Bishop Garrigan. Montag high lob to the baseline, Mahler. She'll fire a baseline jumper. It bounces several times on the rim and drops in.
Touched every part of the rim for Ella Muller's jump shot, and it went in. That time they just threw that lob, but to the baseline for the jump shot instead of under the hoop.
1:44 left in this one. Golden Bears with one of their most dominant offensive performances of the season. Their season high in points is 80. They did that against Lake Mills, and the running clock will likely prevent that here tonight, but this has been a complete performance, just as Coach Schwab ordered in the pregame show.
And you called it yourself there, Mr. Lance. I asked you, what is the great Swami Tyler Lance say? And you said they'd win by 30. And,
a turnaround jumper. That one rattles out, and Johnson will miss that one. It's chased down, though, and Koenigs will take the rebound. Morgan Koenigs. But a foul here against Riceville.
And I don't know how you prognosticators can predict this, just looking at stats, heights, a little bit of film. You sports guys, you really know what you're doing.
You know what they say, once in a while you get lucky. Over to the right, Murphy. Murphy drifts towards the left with 51 seconds left to go. Now Hovey with the ball. Passing it on to the wing to Montag. Montag will fire a contested three. This time it's an air ball. It's tapped back into play and taken by Koenigs for Riceville with 40 seconds to go. 74-31. Riceville going to wrap up here one of their best seasons in program history with 22 wins. As the final 30 seconds tick away. Into the lane, turnaround jumper on the way. Bounces around and drops through for Emily Johnson, the senior.
And the senior gets the bucket, and their student section for Riceville goes crazy. That is good to see as this game wraps up.
Bishop Garrigan's going to want to dribble the final time away as the Golden Bear half of the crowd rises to their feet with a standing ovation. Mahler holds it in the far corner. 74-33 is the score right now as the final 5 seconds tick away. A complete performance as Bishop Garrigan is headed back to state for the third season in a row. Golden Bears celebrate by their bench area as the teams will shake hands, and that will wrap up the season for Riceville. Bishop Garrigan gets to do it at least one more time as they will play opponent to be determined on Wednesday. With that, we'll step aside here for a quick timeout, and we'll come back with some final stats and analysis next on Home Country Radio KLGZ and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
Tournament sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports boosters.
Animal Medical Center. Trust Dr. Schlegel with the care of your favorite family member.
Peps, where friends don't let friends go thirsty.
Nutrient Egg Solutions of Irvington and Laverne.
Snap-on Tools, the most valued tool storage solutions in the world.
Sportsman's Corner, your power sports headquarters. Can-Am and Honda side-by-sides, ATVs, and motorcycles.
Capacious Brothers Incorporated, Pioneer Seed.
Carroll Implement of Laverne, serving area farming communities for over 50 years.
Farmers Co-op of Addison and Algona, offering Kent Show feeds for all your livestock projects.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Chemna Quick Lane is the easy, fast, and convenient way to get an oil change.
No appointment needed, just show up.
Oil changes start at $59.95 for the 6-quart basic package, including inspection, fluid top-off, air and cabin filter check. They can also rotate your tires and replace your air filter or cabin filter for additional charges.
The Quick Lane is open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday and 7:30 to noon on Saturdays. Don't stress when your vehicle says change the oil now. Just drive to Chemna Quick Lane, Highway 18 West, Algona.
No appointment needed.
Chemna cares.
More sports boosters making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Iowa Lakes Community College. Your community, your college.
Farmers State Bank, proud to be part of our community for over 125 years, with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Erpelding Excavating. Let them take care of your grading and excavating plus drainage needs.
Stroman Family Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. Collision Specialist. A total commitment to excellence.
Algona Livestock Auction, Highway 169 North, sales every Monday.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, with 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
And we are back here to wrap it up from Clear Lake High School, where Bishop Garrigan punches their ticket to state for the 3rd consecutive season, defeating Riceville by a final score of 74-33. I'm Tyler Lance. My partner is Beanie Bodie. And for those of you watching on the YouTube live stream, right now you're seeing the players and the fans celebrating down on the floor for Bishop Garrigan. Just a great scene here and what was a very charged atmosphere tonight. But the Golden Bears crowd and players took control early on. They played that full 4-quarter game Coach Schwab wanted and had a very impressive offensive performance. Before we give some final numbers here, we'll give a quick thank you to the streaming sponsors for tonight's game and throughout the season, as this will be our last video broadcast. And those streaming sponsors include Chemna Auto, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona State Farm Insurance agent Billy Offerman. Algona Municipal Utilities, where they're community-owned for community benefit. And Families of Bishop Garrigan High School, sponsoring the sports streaming here on the YouTube page. And again, thank you to all of them. They have been wonderful here throughout the season as we've adventured into video streaming for the first time. And of course, once you get down to state, Iowa PBS has the exclusive streaming rights as far as video goes. But of course, we'll still bring the audio of every game that Bishop Garrigan plays, whether it's 1 or 3 at state. But Beanie, I'll tell you what, great game for Bishop Garrigan. They came out early, got out strong, had a nice big run right before halftime, and they kept on the gas pedal all throughout the night.
Yeah, boy, they really slammed the screen doors shut immediately in that first half. And Riceville Wildcats, without that experience of being in games like this, a little bit shell-shocked, and Garrigan really put it to them there in that first half and put the game out of reach immediately. And then when the game progressed, Riceville, boy, really showed they had some skills, but by then it was far too late. The dominance of Audie Crooks and Molly Joyce and Abby Capacious and Tigas and Grant Jeanette, all pistons were firing in that first half between the steals and the rebounds and the great shooting. Just unstoppable today. There was nothing going to deny these Bears from getting back down to Des Moines to play in the state tournament. Great to see them down there celebrating. The team, of course, are the ones that get it done, and us fans just get to go along for the ride. But I couldn't be happier for that team, those girls, to get to go down there and have this experience one more time and hopefully bring home something even better than the runner-up trophy.
That is right. Bishop Garrigan's been the state runner-up to Newell Fonda the past couple of seasons, and they loaded their schedule this year trying to get themselves ready for a state championship run, and they have looked very, very crisp in these 3 playoff games. Quick look at a couple leading scorers for tonight. Audie Crooks led all players of 29 points. Molly Joyce was right behind her of 27 for Bishop Garrigan. On the Riceville side of things, they had 3 players tied with 8 points, as it was O'Malley Fair, Joy Barron, and Sarah Anderson all scoring 8 in tonight's game. On the Riceville side of things, you wrap it up again. O'Malley Fair will graduate, so that's a 15-point-a-game score that you're losing, but 4 of the 5 starters are back next year. You've got Anderson coming off the bench. She'll be back next year, a nice piece. And really, you've got momentum here of improving your win total 5 seasons in a row. Now, it's going to be tough to win more than 22 games next season, but I think Riceville has laid the foundation here for a solid program going forward, and certainly this has been one of their better seasons, and they have a chance to build on that coming up for next year.
Yeah, they have some talented young players that can shoot. They did not need a lot of space. They had quick releases. They're going to score some points as the years progress. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in another regional final in the future. And, as the talent continues to ebb and flow at every school, that's the kind of the roller coaster time. You have up years and down years. Garrigan still has another year as Audie Crooks, Molly Joyce, they're just juniors. Abby Capacious, a sophomore. So they're going to be back again. I would think they're going to have another dynamite team, if everyone stays healthy. And that's another thing, talking about staying healthy. This is a long basketball season. Obviously, illness is on the peak of everyone's mind for the last 2 years. For a team to stay healthy all season and get in good physical condition and health when you go down to the state tournament has been key. And they all look quite healthy out there and happy and smiles, and not a lot of Kleenexes draped around the bench. We're in a healthy, good position right now, which I also say to the crowd out there that I'm happy to see. Of course, they're all mixing down there on the floor right now with all their fans, their many fans that they have to stand around with. And Crooks is on a steady line getting her picture taken with everybody over and over again. She's got a lot of fans down there. Then she's very gracious taking pictures with a lot of people. And, I couldn't be happier for her. We've seen Audie come up through the school system. As a kindergartner, she was always head and shoulders above everybody, just physically head and shoulders. Whenever we have a student assembly, there's Audie. And when she was a grade schooler, I can't imagine she enjoyed being 1.5 feet taller than everybody in the 3rd grade. But now that she's a junior in high school and her height and her work and her success is being celebrated right now, it's got to be very vindicating, as there's a whole line of boys out there that want to take a picture with her. And she's got great things in her future. In her immediate future, she has to perform at the Garrigan Musical Pops concert on Friday night.
Is that right?
Yeah, so she's got to get that off of the list. That's stressful, getting in front of a whole crowd of people and singing songs. But she's also got a beautiful voice that she has to share with the world. So Audie Crooks is having quite the week. And hopefully she has it even more exciting next week.
No doubt about it, as the schedule for next week looks like a game on Wednesday. Again, time and opponent to be determined for Bishop Garrigan, but they will play on Wednesday at some point down in Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. Before we wrap up here, I do want to give a quick credit here to Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. Obviously, a lot of the attention rightfully falls on the players, but Coach Schwab set everything up for this year. He said, you know what, we are going to play the hardest schedule we've ever played to get ready for a moment like this, where you're facing a team like Riceville in the regional final, and a trip to state is on the line, and you come out and play the way Bishop Garrigan played. And, not only for that, but to schedule those state championship caliber opponents to prepare Bishop Garrigan for what's coming up on Wednesday and maybe Friday and maybe Saturday if they can win. So a credit to him there, and really the adjustments he made throughout the season as well. You talk about Bishop Garrigan was always a 2-3 zone defensive team, but he said, you know what, we're going to try to play a little bit of man-to-man here and see what happens. And they played man-to-man defense tonight, and it had a great final result. So Coach Schwab, he's been adjusting throughout the season. He's been challenging his team, and he has gotten some great results out of these girls.
You're totally right, Tyler. And looking back at our broadcasting all the season, when we went down to the Johnston Gym and they played West Lyon and took a loss down there, it was a well-fought game, but West Lyon had their number down to the Johnston Gym. And leaving that gym, you could see some disappointed faces. But then to lose to a quality team like West Lyon, ranked in 3A, and then to come around to the end of the season and beat the number 1 team in 2A in Dyke New Hartford, it really worked out well in the Coach Schwab plan. Play a hard team like West Lyon early, figure out, boy, we need to get better, and then beat Dyke New Hartford at the end. It worked out really well. Even if they lose that game to Dyke New Hartford, it has to give the girls confidence that they played, as I think you told me earlier, the fourth difficult schedule by ratings. It had to give them a lot of confidence going into this postseason.
Yeah, and it depends on who you look at. I would say Bishop Garrigan has played a tougher top of the schedule than any other team in 1A. You can maybe say a couple of the bottom teams. Well, you couldn't really avoid that, but that's a story for another day. As in any case, no matter what the schedule was, Bishop Garrigan has won their 19th game in a row, and they are headed to state. Again, we'll have the radio broadcast coming up on Wednesday. And again, if you're looking for video, that's okay. It's on Iowa PBS, but I'll tell you what, there's always the mute button where you can sync up the radio. So just a friendly suggestion, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You definitely want to listen to Tyler Lance on the call as the girls team just gives a shout out to Tyler Lance as they're taking a picture. They got to pause the picture to give a shout out to the radio booth here to Tyler Lance. I know they really appreciate you and all your help in covering them and their interviews and talking to them. They really appreciate you, as they tell me so in the hallway every day, Tyler. And we're going to get Coach Schwab up here, and I'm going to say goodbye, Tyler. I'm hitting the road back to Algona. Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it. See you next week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, partner. Beanie Bodie signs off for tonight, and he will trade the headset over to Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. Coach, there's always more to say after a game like that, certainly, as your girls ended up getting that 74-33 win. Again, just, I guess, quick overview of that one. Seemed like everything was firing on all cylinders in this game.
You know, we really executed offensively. You know, we haven't had a team match us up in man for a while. So, you know, and we had watched a ton of their tapes, and pretty much everything they did was man-to-man. So, I mean, I didn't think in this game they would completely switch what they did, being a 20-win team. And, you know, we just really worked the last few days on, you know, our defense and really our man execution.
Now, Coach, on the defensive side of things for your team, I was really just impressed by the way you forced high degree of difficulty shots all throughout the night. Can you just speak a little bit to the way the girls executed on that end tonight?
Yeah, you know, I mean, and to their credit, in the first half, they hit some tough shots. You know, they hit some tough runners, and I thought we were in pretty good position on a few of them that they made. That's what I said after. If any quorum, I said at halftime, I said I thought they probably had 7 or 8 offensive rebounds that we needed to clean up, and then I thought we were wearing them down. That, you know, the first 3 minutes out of the second half, we just said, let's really push the ball here for 3 minutes and see if we can get on a nice 8-10-0 run to start this half and finish it out from there. But, you know, really proud of our players' effort and our execution tonight.
Coach, I know you've done this 3 years in a row now, but it can't possibly get old here having a huge crowd of Bishop Garrigan fans all down on the floor, the players taking pictures, holding the banner. I mean, what's that moment like?
You know, it doesn't get old, trust me. I mean, when you've been a part of the game long enough, you've had years that you don't make it down, you know, to even this game. I mean, you really got to sit back and appreciate, you know, the run we have had, you know, 4 out of the last 5 years being the state tournament. And you know, it just doesn't get old. I mean, I'm so happy for our community and our players. You know, our players put a ton of time in. And our players have been so focused and locked in on wanting to get back to the state tournament again, and you know, and we've reached that goal with a conference championship, back to the state tournament, and you know, now we're gonna enjoy this for the next 48 hours, and then we're gonna get back to work on whoever we play on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we'll let you go enjoy the win of the team. Thanks for stopping by, and congrats on the win.
All right, thanks a lot.
That's Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab as we get set to wrap it up here on Home Country Radio. Bishop Garrigan wins by a final score of 74-33, and they will play at Wells Fargo Arena coming up on Wednesday. Well, that is it for us for tonight. Again, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Big thank you to all our streaming sponsors and all of the sports sponsors who help bring you sports here on Home Country Radio and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. And, of course, big thank you to Bernie Merrill. Again, she has been on the camera all throughout the postseason, running that scoreboard, getting the graphics up, and she's been a huge asset to us here as we have been able to stream games all throughout the year. So big thank you to everyone who helped out throughout the season, and we'll talk to you again at state. This has been a Hometown and Home Country Radio sports production. I'm Tyler Lance signing off as Bishop Garrigan wins